Most service contracts do. Even during the factory warranty period, wear and tear items are covered on the service contract, not on the factory warranty in most cases. Everybody got that? So you've got several things that are covered on the service contract. Now be sure your service contract covers these things. I've seen some that don't. But if you got a manufacturer-based service contract, you know, Ford ESP or Toyota Guard or one of those. If you got a manufacturer-backed, it always covers wear and tear and consequential damage. Mr. Customer, consequential damage is damage to a non-covered part caused by failure of a covered part. Your brake calipers. Your brake calipers are, when you are in a forced stop and your ABS brakes are pumping 3,000 times, was it 3,000 times a minute? Tremendous number. When those brake calipers are pumping it faster than a hummingbird's wings move, and all of a sudden that caliper breaks, that is a defect in material and workmanship. All manufacturer warranties cover is defects in materials and workmanship. That's all manufacturer warranties cover, every one of them. I had a guy dispute that with Honda. No, we went through the Honda warranty. Defects in materials and workmanship. Okay, that's a defect in materials and workmanship. If that caliper broke, it's covered. But it destroyed the brake pads and it destroyed the rotor. We're going to put new brake pads on it and replace the rotor, or at least turn it. That's not covered under the factory warranty. Now, by the way, out of policy, most people would repair it, but they don't have to. Everybody follow what I just said? The service contract would pick it up. Damage to a non-covered part caused by failure of a covered part. Manufacturer warranties do not cover that. You know, I've had salesmen say, well, it's a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Bumper-to-bumper warranty, my butt, it doesn't even cover bumpers. Think about that. So, you got to be able to explain the cost of associated repairs. Mr. Customer, how much does a power window motor cost? How much does a power seat motor cost? The little things we take for granted cost a lot more than you think. Now, Pete, on page 30 at the top is liquid quartz crystal computerized digital instrumentation display system. So if you need that, you got it. Okay, page 31. Women. Love women. But women, this is a generalization. You can't generalize about women. But many women, the majority of women, just don't like dealing with a service repair facility. I mean, you know, a number of people are reticent to work with the sales department. Women, as a generality, the majority, not all, you know, did I disclaim that enough? Okay. Women don't like to deal with the service department. When I'm selling a woman a service contract, I say, one thing, you'll never have to negotiate the price of repairs. You'll never have to deal with them. We deal with them. You'll never have to wonder whether they did unnecessary repairs. You're not going to have to wonder, and you're not going to have to worry about the quality of the people working on your. We only allow certified technicians to work on your car. We will screen the qualifications of the people working on your car. No. You never have to negotiate with a service writer or repair facility. It's nationwide. Now, let me be sure I get this correctly. When you have an independent service contract that you are selling that may or may not cover what I'm about to say, All factory programs do. All manufacturer service contracts do. What brand do you sell?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What brand of service contract?
Fidelity.
Okay, Fidelity. Fidelity is an independent. So you're going to have to read your contract. They probably do cover this. But, what do you sell?
Fidelity.
Fidelity. Yeah. What are you selling, Brad?
J&A.
J&A. Oh, J&A does cover it, by the way. So, yeah, you're fine there. Okay. All service contracts only allow factory authorized replacement parts. No counterfeit parts will be used on your car. Now, by the way, I really learned a lot about service contracts in those years I was working with Ford ESP, how they work and what they do. And, you know, truthfully, service contract companies are mostly operating at a loss. I mean, it's a real pyramid scheme. They got to sell more into the future to cover what service contracts are a great buy. That's why so many independents go out of business. You know, so many independent providers have gone out of business because it's the customer does get a good value. So, factory authorized replacement parts. That does not necessarily mean factory brand new. Now, JM&A or any of the, would they put a rebuilt alternator in the car? Yes, they would. If it was rebuilt on factory standards, Ford ESP would definitely put a rebuilt part in a car on a service contract claim. So don't tell me new, but factory authorized replacement parts. Our service contract only allows factory authorized replacement parts. You like that word tracking, Steve?
Yep.
You know, we don't ever want to tell a lie. We want to be sure we say it correctly. Nationwide coverage. Most service contracts cover your car if it breaks down anywhere in the United States or Canada. Mexico, you're SOL. But if your car breaks down in North America, Canada, or United States, most of them are nationwide coverage. They pay with a credit card if they have to. Okay, my favorite presentation. Pete, you awake?
Yep.
You ready? Okay. Skip over. Do not read page 32. Go right to page 33. Pete, what is that on page 33?
Used car buyer guide.
Used car buyer's guide. Is that a Federal Trade Commission document?
Yes.
Yes, it is. I mean, we don't invent these. The Federal Trade Commission supplies these. We buy them from people, but the wording on this is supplied by the Federal Trade Commission. Is that true? Yes, it is. Now, Mr. Customer, this is another mandatory disclosure required by the Federal Trade Commission. What do you do? Pete, I'm going to pick on you and say, what do you do with this document?
Make sure that they sign it.
And what else?
Put it in every deal.
Okay. You will see.
It's also displayed in every
Well, you want it.
Car.
It's got to be displayed by law on every pre-owned car that's for sale on your lot.
Yes.
You want to see what I do with this form?
Okay.
You want to see some magic? Watch. Mr. Customer, this is another mandatory disclosure required by the Federal Trade Commission. This form was hanging on the rear window of your car when the salesman showed it to you, and he brought it to me. This is the actual one that was hanging in there. I don't print another one. No, this is the actual one. Now, Mr. Customer, I'm required to tell you, look 3/4 down the form. Now, these words were supplied and printed by the federal government, not by me. Mr. Customer, the Federal Trade Commission requires that I tell you that a service contract is available at an extra charge on this vehicle. I'm required by law to disclose that to you. I can't withhold that information from you, that you can purchase an extended service contract. Would you sign it? I checked it off here. Would you put your initials here that I made that known to you? Would you initial on this form. Turn it over. Look, there's the back of it on the next page. Now, Mr. Customer, I want you to read the bottom of this form with me. It says important. The federal government made it the biggest print on the entire page. Important. The information on this form is part of any contract to buy this vehicle. Mr. Customer, I'm required to tell you that this form is part of your contract to buy the vehicle. And the federal government has listed nearly 100 items that commonly fail in pre-owned automobiles. Nearly 100 items that commonly fail in pre-owned automobiles are listed by the federal government on the back of this form. By your signature affixed, you were offered the service contract. Should you not purchase it, you're agreeing to self-insure on all these items. Yeah.
What part of the process do you put this in front of them?
If they turn down the service contract, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that. I did the menu, and they're not going to buy it.
The F customer, the D customer.
What's that?
The F and D, the people that won't even listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I saw that at the bottom of this form. I said, wait a second. The buyer's guide becomes part of the contract to buy the vehicle? Yes. And the government already told them 100 items that commonly fail in cars?
Right.
Sitting right there in front of you.
This has been in front of us all the time. Nobody ever used it as a sales tool.
Yeah.
And you know, if they bought the service contract already, I'd get them to sign it and move on. But 100 items that commonly fail on pre-owned automobiles. Patrick, that's a killer presentation. You like it? What's your thoughts, Robert?
Awesome.
Isn't it? That's been one of my finest creations, is that word track.